Hello and welcome to Proteus 3D. My name is Samuel Morissette and this is how I made. Today we're going to be looking at a second part of this blade. Please go ahead and look at the first part to go and see how I scanned it. So we have the scan here, and this is only for reference. Obviously, quick disclaimer, this is not something that I'm going to try and recreate within a couple thousandths of an inch. This is only to show how I proceed, and hopefully it's going to be interesting. So this is my timeline that I've used to make this part. We're just going to go through the timeline and see how I made this. So that's the original scan. This is what we're going to obtain at the end. And how I started was I went with a loft for the base part. So this part right here, this thin part here, with a loft. So a loft is quite simple. It's only 2 or more sketches, and then it will make a solid between those 2 sketches. So we got first sketch, second sketch, and then we have our loft. This is a solid loft. There are surface lofts, but I went directly to a a solid loft. So loft 2, second part here, it's only the only part of this sort of retaining area, and then third loft over here I did not use, so fourth loft, there we go. So this is the fourth loft, which used this sketch and this sketch. As you can see in the sketch, there was a hole there. Apparently for some reason there is no way to use holes inside of a loft. So what I did was I lofted afterwards the hole. And if you can notice, the hole on this side is actually bigger than the hole in this one. Then we went with just a simple extrude. I did a couple sketches for the blade. So to do that, I made several planes that were equally spaced going up, like so. Then I made a sketch, a sketch, a sketch, a sketch, a couple sketches to recreate that shape. Every time I did a sketch, I basically I went through the part and then copied that section with a sketch. Then I made the loft like so. Obviously, a lot of times lofts like these require a bit more work than just the simple sketches. So to do that, I made a guide curve. So how do you select a guide curve inside the feature? Go into here, guide curves. So all I did was a 3D sketch with a spline, and I connected all of them together. And you can see here exactly how everything works. Really important to keep the sketches in order. So you can have this bottom one in the middle, and then it would not work. It would need to go from one to the next. So that's one quick thing. And then we go with the cut extrude, just to take off the excess here, because it was actually going a little farther inside the part here. You can see that it was actually going inside because I needed to go up to here. So take off that. And then another cut extrude just for that curve there. We combine this part with this part, or this body, should I say, with that body. This body with this body. And then really cool fillet here. Tie all that together. And then this part, which is really, really cool. You'll see what it's for in a bit. Which was created, it's a simple sweep again, so we have a pattern and then a profile. Just used 2 sketches, and then there we go. And then we cut off the excess. Then a couple radii. And then there we have it. That's our part. So, for those who are asking what this is for, let me show you. This is actually them patterned inside of what I could guess is the sort of the pattern that would be used. And it looks really cool. And it's basically the fins here are used in conjunction with these fins here, so everything comes into contact. And then we have the assembly. So how do I do that? I just made a one part inside here, and I made it so that it was fixed. How did I do that? I went with coincident and then distance mates, and I used this cone as a reference to try and approximate the radius based on this here, this surface. It's really approximate, but it'll do. Then I made a circular pattern, making sure that these little fins here came into contact. And there you have it. That's the assembly. And hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.